likes to say that there's no competition between Marvel and DC, but just take a look at the latest evidence. What Kevin Feige is doing here, he has every right to do it, but it's incredibly aggressive and a little mean. Actually, more than a little mean. But again, he has every right to do it, but part of me feels this is a lot of multiverse, and I kind of wish the MCU would just skip right ahead to Secret Invasion while the DCEU does the multiverse. But the MCU's plans are so good, as you're about to see, that again, I can't fault Feige. But it's mean. There's definitely a competition going here. Some of you might say that DC caused the problem first because they made all their announcements for their Flash movie, after Feige announced the title for Doctor Strange 2. But I'm curious how you feel about it. I mean, I think bottom line, it's a competition, and it's not a friendly one. All right, so as I said, let's discuss. He's working on getting you Tom Cruise, which I've heard now from a second source. It's my source. That is actually, I think, when I reported it to you, I was like, oh, Kevin Feige wants to do it. And now I'm hearing that he's taking steps now to make it happen. So that's really exciting. Emily Blunt could be part of it and more. Be sure to check out that video. And I also pointed out to you and reported that one of the top priorities for Feige is making your wish come true and bringing Tobey, Andrew, and Tom together for a team up. And with news that Jamie Foxx is returning as Electro, that seems to confirm that Feige's doing it and perhaps has done it. But the interesting new development here is it seems Spider-Man 3, because that's where Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to pop up first, maybe. He might be in Doctor Strange 2. I'm going to discuss that with you. But this means that Spider-Man 3 will also be a multiverse film. What will be the title? It has to have home in it. My guess is There's No Place Like Home, like a little play on The Wizard of Oz. We thought they were going to do maybe a Christmas movie. It comes out at Christmas, so there's Home Alone. But how much stuff can Kevin Feige, or actually Amy Pascal, cram into this movie? Multiverse and Christmas? I don't know. All right, so yeah, it's crazy that of all the people that they're bringing back, it's Jamie Foxx's Electro. Like, I don't think anybody wanted to see Jamie Foxx's Electro come back. I thought that it was not a great performance, even though, of course, Jamie Foxx is an Oscar-winning actor. But that makes me wonder if maybe the inadvertent theme of these multiverse movies will be comic book actors redeeming themselves for past performances. That's tricky. I don't know if that's really... I mean, if they all start doing that, that's going to maybe put that in people's minds. And you don't want audiences going, yeah, they were bad the first time around. Do I want to see that again? And also, they better be better this time around, or they're just going to prove the haters right. Like, if Jamie Foxx isn't any better as Electro, well then, it's on him. So yes, Wanda is going to break the multiverse wide open in WandaVision. And I've heard from my sources that she and Catherine Hahn's character are going to have a huge VFX battle at the end of the series. So they're going to give you the Wanda fight that we've all been craving for quite some time. I'm very excited to see that. And Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come right after WandaVision. WandaVision, as you might recall, was going to lead right into that sequel. But now, because of coronavirus, Doctor Strange 2 isn't hitting theaters until March 25th, 2022. Oh boy. And none of the MCU movies in between will feature the multiverse. Black Widow is a flashback film, so that's okay. Eternals is already in the can. And I guess we'll see if they can work the multiverse somehow into Shang-Chi and Thor: Love and Thunder. I think it would overly complicate both those films, but it is weird that Wanda would break out the multiverse in 2020 and we wouldn't see any follow-up to that for 2 years. So enter Spider-Man 3, hitting theaters December 17th, 2021. But still, a year after WandaVision and after 3 more MCU movies that, maybe Shang-Chi will, but for the most part won't touch on the multiverse. So that's kind of weird. And also, I was racking my brain about this. I was like, why would Kevin Feige give Amy Pascal this big of a gift for a Sony movie? I mean, I know Disney and Sony are pals again, begrudgingly, but this is an amazing gift to give them. Although, when you think about it, Feige has actually been quite generous with Sony in the past. Remember all the amazing Secret Invasion teases in Spider-Man Far From Home? And also, he's lent out Iron Man, and he's lent out Nick Fury and Maria Hill. And also, Tom Holland's Peter Parker has become one of fans' favorite Avengers. He's right up there with Captain America and Iron Man. I would say it right up there, more popular than anyone else. He's up there with those two. But even more than that, this is what I was thinking about it, and it occurred to me that Tobey and Andrew worked for Sony, not Disney Marvel. So if Sony is going to work to bring them back to help the MCU Multiverse happen, they want a big piece of the box office, and this will do that. So they're like, yeah, we'll bring back Tobey and Andrew if you let us introduce them first in our movie. And I think Kevin Feige's like, let's do it. Because this is a huge blow to Warner Brothers' The Flash, hitting theaters in June 2022. Because now Marvel will be releasing not just one, but two multiverse movies beforehand. And what the heck is going to happen with Michael Keaton? He's, of course, returning as Batman for The Flash, and as I've reported to you, and as other people are confirming, he's supposed to stick around in the DCEU. But he's also the Vulture for Sony Marvel, who is part of the Secret Six, which is going to become very important in a moment, as you'll see. And with Spider-Man 3 in 2021 and The Flash in 2022, Keaton could conceivably do both movies. Would he? I don't think they could contractually keep him from doing that over at Warner Brothers. They could be like, that's real uncool of you, man. But how could you not have Keaton's the Vulture if you're going to do basically a Sinister Six situation in Spider-Man 3, which is why I think they're working towards that. We'll discuss that in a moment. I mean, I feel that would benefit Marvel and it would undercut the Flash movie considerably. What do you think? Personally, again, I think this is kind of mean. I feel Feige is quickly ripping apart the Warner Brothers DC Flash movie like Cinderella's stepsisters in her new dress. So that leaves the question, who's going to be Warner Brothers and DC's fairy godmother with a last-minute save? All right, so that's the business side. Let's talk creative, because the creative ramifications here are huge and very exciting. So again, I can confirm WandaVision sees the multiverse ripped open, Spider-Man 3 sees Peter Parker dealing with the ramifications, and in Doctor Strange 2, they fix, or try to fix, we'll see what they have to clear the slate for Secret Invasion, so they fix everything in Doctor Strange 2. They're like, we need a doctor! All right, so anyway. Side note, I'm hearing that some of the Spider-Man 3 players might still appear in Doctor Strange 2. And it makes even more sense now to bring in Sam Raimi, who of course directed the original Spider-Man trilogy and cast many of the actors who are now in play for his Doctor Strange 2. He's taking over there, of course. Even as J. Jonah Jameson is back, but not as part of the multiverse. Is J. Jonah Jameson the same in every universe? That would be an interesting wrinkle. He's like, everyone else gets played by a different actor, but J. Jonah Jameson is always the same. I mean, I don't think anybody would want to see someone else in that role. So much so that they didn't recast it. All right, so anyway, with the multiverse in play, Feige and Pascal are able to get an instant Secret Six. No need for origin stories. It's a great fast forward. I think it's very clever to bring in a team that fans have been wanting to see for quite some time now. So the classic Sinister Six roster is Dr. Octopus, Electro, it's so exciting already. Dr. Octopus, Electro, Vulture, Mysterio, Sandman, and Kraven the Hunter. And over the course of the Spider-Man franchise, all the different variations, all those roles have been cast with the exception of Kraven the Hunter, although Amy Pascal is making a movie about Kraven the Hunter, which is in development, and they signed a director. And as I told you, I think because of that director's past, there's a chance that could be Oscar Isaac, maybe? Anyway, will they introduce Kraven the Hunter here? Maybe. I said they don't want to have to deal with any origin stories, and they have other characters they're going to want to use. Also, Sandman isn't a huge fan favorite. Sorry, Tom's Hayden Church. And I think it's pretty clear we need to get a Green Goblin in here. But which one? Norman or Harry? They're all dead, but this is a multiverse film, so they could have been plucked from any point in their respective timelines. So that's not a problem. I think bringing back Willem Dafoe would be a slam dunk. Wow. But I'd also accept James Franco as Harry. Don't waste our time with Dane DeHaan. He wasn't that great, and we already have Electro from Andrew Garfield's timeline. We don't want them all to be from Andrew Garfield's timeline. My guess is with Scorpion from Tom Holland's timeline, also rumored to return for Spider-Man 3, our Sinister Six here will be a Green Goblin, Doc Ock, come on, Alfred Molina, Jake Gyllenhaal. There's no women on the team. I would love to see it's Catherine Hahn. Darn it! She did the voice. But, from the Spider-Verse, if they could do the female version of Doc Ock, that would be interesting. But okay, so Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Verse movie was exploring the multiverse. We'll talk about the Spider-Verse films in a second. So maybe that character could be in Spider-Man 3 and you could kind of do an origin story in that way. I would like to see a woman on the Sinister Six. You know, I feel it would be a wise thing to do. So Alfred Molina, you better push for that contract fast. All right, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I don't believe he ever died. I mean, he's too amazing to kill off, and this whole thing is don't believe what you see. Michael Keaton's Vulture, Jamie Foxx's Electro, and Michael Mando's Scorpion. That's an amazing lineup. That is really an amazing lineup. And also, who says Spider-Man villains are the only ones who are going to pop up from other multiverses? Olivia Wilde has basically confirmed she's coordinating with Feige for her upcoming SpiderWoman movie. So Jessica Drew could be introduced here, or as I said in my Nick Fury Disney Plus coverage, check that video out as well, link also below. She could also show up there first on the Disney Plus series that's going to lead directly into Secret Invasion. Well, it's like actually the beginning of the Secret Invasion storyline with the big blowout during Captain Marvel 2. But also, how about the most obvious wish here from fans, as strong as bringing Tobey, Andrew, and Tom together, is give us our live-action Miles Morales. Have him swing in here, boy. That's going to be amazing. I do think a multiverse story in Spider-Man 3 sort of takes away from Sony's animated Spider-Verse movies, both the original Oscar-winning film and the upcoming sequel, hitting theaters in 2022 as well. Again, this is too much multiverse. But if this is a quick way to bring in Miles Morales to live action, I think we'll all allow it. Also, by the way, can we get maybe Jake Johnson for a quick live action Spider-Man cameo as well? He's so good. And Deadpool, a huge Spider-Man fan. In the comics, he's got a crush on Peter. It would be fabulous to have Ryan Reynolds show up and make a joke about all the live action Spideys together. I mean, he's got to be here doing color commentary on the whole multiverse, right? That would be just a dream come true for Ryan Reynolds. I think it would be great. It would be just even one or two scenes. So what do you think of Feige's MCU Multiverse versus DC's? I mean, I can't believe it. Kevin Feige is only on his first round of actors, and we've discussed how that's like a hindrance to him, while at least DC can pull from many different, much more filmmakers. They've been around longer as doing DC movies. But it seems that Kevin Feige even has a deeper bench here. I mean, I think this is crazy. So what do you think of the two multiverses compared, against each other? And what do you think of making the MCUs so Spider-Man centric? I guess it makes sense because that is the franchise that Feige has access to, which has also gone through a number of iterations at this point. Also, who do you want to see come back or introduced? Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.